1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. We're gonna do some more painting. Gonna roll up my sleeves here so I don't get all over myself. And I'll show you the picture now. And we're gonna have fun with this one, I think. I think a lot of people love elephants. And this is just a different concept. But first, we wanna start. I did my canvas black, so I pre-painted it, but I wanna paint it again. Before I get into that, let's start by showing you the colors. So we have purple, green, blue, light blue, gold, orange, yellow, red. Got my black and my white, a little bit of turquoise. And we're gonna have some fun with this. And again, you don't have to copy me on the colors. Just simply get a concept of what you want and throw in those colors and make it fun. All right, so what I wanna do is I'm gonna start out by just doing, let's see what color I wanna use. Just want a dark color, just something that you can just barely see. So I'll use black and just do a touch of white to get a gray. It's not gonna be a dark gray by any means, or a light gray by any means, but I just wanna be able to see a little bit of an outline of where we wanna do this elephant. So we want the ear to come down and around. We want the face, come down with the trunk, and the trunk is gonna come here and come back up. So let's get that ear established. And I think from there, I hope you can see this. I'm gonna start by, yeah, let's see, I'll pull it over just a bit. Remember, you can shape this however you want. It does not have to be perfect. This is just an outline. Remember, the trunk is gonna go from the head, it's gonna come narrower. So don't just try and do it straight down. Make sure it comes at a bit of an angle. And then we're gonna start to move it towards the bottom. So it's like it's gonna swing itself around up through here, because it is. But before we do that, let's finish off this side. Make sure it's symmetrical. You don't want one side all wonky. Let's get them both looking good together. And again, we're just outlining right now. Don't fret about it. I think we're gonna pull our ear. Yeah, let's get it over here like this. Bring it down, aim about halfway down the trunk, not quite halfway. And just see where you want to pull that over. It's just gonna make its way over a little bit, then drop down. Don't forget, we gotta put a tusk in here. So we want a tusk to come down. I'm just gonna put a little bit of a tip at the end where I want it to start. And then we'll bring it down around to our left. We're gonna stop at about halfway down, so about 4 inches maybe. Almost like a bit of a moon. And just round it off at the end there. And where you did that, go straight across to the other side. We're gonna do the same thing over there. Same thing, but we're gonna bring it in this way. Line it up. Again, straight across there. As much as you're able. Excellent. So far, I think she's looking good. It's not going to be a hard painting, you guys. This one's actually going to be a pretty fun one, pretty easy. But it's going to be colorful. And that's what we want, color. Lots and lots of color. So the big thing now that we have the tusks done, we're going to bring the rest of our trunk. It's going to come about halfway up. So just pull over about 2-3 inches. And just do a bit of a smiley face. And do little circles at the end to make that smile a little bit bigger. And then we're gonna do a big C, working its way. Make sure it lines up with that bottom. You don't want it to look awkward like it's going down and this piece is coming up in a V, because trunks don't bend like that. They just don't bend like that. So, now that we have our outline established, I'm gonna do the eyes first. I wanna get those eyes in there, just so we know where we're gonna put these things. So just at the bottom of the circle, we're gonna just do a little bit of an eye shape. Just so we know where the eye's going. That's it. And go straight across the other side. Same thing. Just so we know where the eye's going. Doesn't have to be perfect. Because now what we want to do is we want to get into some color. I'm going to pull this over just a hair farther. I want to fill that in. So while we're doing our outlines, I'm just seeing if there's anything else we needed to do. If you can't see it, go a little bit brighter. A little bit brighter. I think I see it all pretty good there. I think the head's shaped fairly good. Round that off a little bit more. There we go. All right, I have my elephant in shape. So I am gonna clean off that brush. I just used a small round brush, nothing crazy. Now I'm gonna go to my thicker brush. And we're gonna start adding some color. There is no mandatory way of doing color. You just add color as you want, but what we're gonna do is you gotta go with the flow of things, and I'll show you where to highlight and I'll show you where to low light so we can get it right. So I'm gonna start just with some orange. And I see in the picture that the orange goes around the eye, comes down, and it follows that tusk right to the tusk. Oh, you see how that orange just stands out on that black canvas? And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you want it to go on thick, put it on thick. But you can always do a second layer. Second layer is not hard to do. Let it dry. Yes, it's time consuming, but anyone in the art industry knows that your best art out there has not taken 30 minutes to do. Usually takes sometimes months to do a really good picture. Sometimes months. Some of my favorite artists out there are Andrew Tischler and Kevin Hill. You can check those guys up on YouTube. They have some amazing artwork, some awesome comprehension of how to do art, especially as little kids. Get the concepts now, understand the way things work, and it'll look awesome. So, I think I'm not gonna worry, well, let's do some. So, again, on the ear, we're going north, south, up, down. But on the trunk and the head, we all want it to go left and right. Follow the path of the trunk, right? You're just gonna get a nice feel to it. And let's just make some marks in here. I might save some of this orange for later as highlights. Because look at how much it pops right out. Pops out really good. Really good. Oh, that'll be a low light side, so we'll do highlight on the right side. Perfect. And I'm gonna keep this side dark. So I'm gonna clean up my brush. And I'm gonna go in, let's get in some darker colors first. That way we can have the darker colors as kind of background colors. So I'm gonna get into my dark blue. And I'm gonna go right beside this orange. And that way when we come to our bright colors again, those things are gonna pop. And that's what you want, especially on a black canvas. Colors need to pop. And and they will. I was talking to a cousin earlier today even, and one thing I had mentioned is sometimes when we start painting, we forget to do our darks dark enough. And I know I do it many times on mine, but the more you practice, the more you learn to darken those colors right up, and then at the end you get to your highlights, and it just makes that painting pop. Andrew Tischler, as I mentioned, was an awesome artist. He is an awesome artist from New Zealand. And one thing he always stands by is he doesn't touch his whites, as in his solid white colors and stuff, right to the very end, right to the very last when he does his highlights. That way they just pop right out of the canvas. So I'm gonna get over here and do around this eye a little bit. Bring it down the trunk. I just added a little bit of light blue and dark blue together. Just change it up just a little bit. Just changing it up a little bit. I'm gonna go one more time over here. Look at that. And the thing is when it dries, it's gonna dry darker. So that's what you gotta consider while we're doing this. Is it's gonna dry darker, so you might have to do the highlights a couple times, or the lowlights, all of them. And that's okay. And again, you can go outside the lines, that's not a big deal. We're not too worried about that right now, because what we're gonna do at the end is we're gonna go through all the black and just re-highlight it, we're gonna re-darken it with black. Darken that thing right out with black. You know, I'm gonna pull this up just a touch so I make sure I get that bottom. Make sure I get that bottom. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. I'm gonna throw just a couple touches of blue in this area. Even though in the pictures there's not, I just love blue. A beautiful color. Now I'm gonna wash my brush again. Always wash and dry your brush every time you're switching colors, unless it's the choice to blend those colors. And then it's all right, you can mix them together. All right, next I'm gonna do green. I'm gonna pop this green just beside this blue. I might even do something a little crazy. I want to do a touch of yellow in there. Look at that. Oh yeah. Looks good. Green. Down here. See, it has a little bit of yellow in it. Messing around like that, you can get some awesome creations. All right. A solid green again. Some slices through there. Yeah, throw a few slices in there, a few slices. And even make the noise. That's starting to come together. I'm going to throw a little bit of more green back in there just to make it a bit thicker. I'm going to touch that yellow again. See what the two blended look like? Don't be afraid to blend some colors, but don't blend them so much that you can't see the separation of the colors. You want that to pop right out. So I'm going to wash my brush and move on to another color. I want to make actually I got purple, but it's a light purple. I don't want to touch that yet. I want to make a dark purple. So I'm going to do blue and a little bit of red together. When you mix those together, you're going to make yourself a nice little purple. Nice purple. I don't need a lot of it. I just want to do a couple.
That's really unique, Faye.
All red. Almost looks like a blue. A little more red to that. A little more red to that. I want to make it a little more to the reddish side. Add just a touch of white. So I want to make it visible. Ah, there we go. I'm going to do the same thing, just pull it through. And if you noticed, I'm keeping my darks mainly on this side. I know I put a little bit of yellow in there, but I want to keep my darks on this side as if the shading is on this side. The sun, there was a sun, would technically be hitting this side, so you're going to get more of your highlights on that corner. On your edges, we'll get yellows in there. And the darks, the blues, the purples, the greens will be on the left side. I already see some awesome feedback, you guys, from the last video I did. Some talented artists out there, I'm telling you that right now. Keep practicing. I wish I had some of my old art to show you guys when I was a kid, because you would probably laugh at it. I did it because it was fun, but I didn't do it to take it serious. And so I didn't put as much of an effort as I probably could have into it. But you know what? What people don't realize is if you do have a gift for something, you still have to nurture it. You still got to practice. You still got to do a lot of work and effort and get it in to where you can make it even better than what it is. All right, I'm gonna jump right into red. I'm gonna throw some red in there. Big blotches of red. Now it's not going on very thick, which I expected. So that's fine. I don't need lots of it. And don't make a mess of everything. Have some purpose a little bit behind where you want to put stuff. If you find that it's not going on thick and you want a little bit brighter, just put a lot on your brush and don't smear it into the painting, but just let it roll off that brush. Too much more vibrant when you add more to it, and just let it roll off the paintbrush. Ah, look at that. We're filling in the gaps is what we're doing. Our last colors are going to be nice yellows and stuff like that, and you watch, it's going to pop right out. Gonna pop right out. Pink. Now I want to go into, I have a turquoise here. Try and decide if I want to save that for later because it's a nice light color. I think it's time to start filling in this right side. I want to put, I'm going to jump right into the yellow. Then I'll get a little bit of turquoise. This is where the blending happens. Keep that momentum moving. And don't be afraid to, I got some red in there, don't be afraid to do that. That's okay, nothing wrong with that. A little bit of orange in there. Nothing wrong with that at all. Again, we're just making colors. We're just making colors. Popping. Alright. Bring down the trunk a little bit. There's a lot more of this in the trunk than other colors, so I'm going to stick with it for a little bit here. Coming along. Excuse me. Coming along. I'm gonna get a little more orange in there. So I'm brighten that up just a touch. Now, I'm gonna put that away for a minute. See what we're missing here. Let's see. I got some hot pink. I'm gonna chuck some hot pink in here. Sneak it in. Actually, I'm gonna put just a little bit of white with it. What that's gonna do is the pink that I have isn't very thick, so it should add a little bit more consistency to it. All right, where do I want to put this? Here. When you go over some lighter colors with this pink, it should pick it up. Guys, it's starting to look pretty cool. Oh, I'm getting a little too excited. I don't want to jump into anything white yet. Not yet. It's not time. Not time. Pull this canvas up, make sure you get that bottom area. Coming together. Coming together. Use red, pink, touch of white. It's just going to make a little bit darker pink. Because I want to hit some edges, a little bit different colors in there. There we are, shaping that trunk a little bit, so shaping the head a bit. To there. Down into there. Look at that. Nice. I think we're on the right track, guys. I want to do... I haven't touched that turquoise yet. I'm going to chuck that turquoise in there now. I think it's time. Sometimes you just know when it's time. And it is time. I think this is a beautiful color. Love that color. Now. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. There's pops. Woo. Look how awesome that is. Now don't go too crazy with it because it'll stand out on its own if you just put it here and there, random spots. But I guess when you get understanding your painting, you'll find out again that when you get to your highlights, it's not a whole lot of highlights, but it's just a bright color and it just makes it stand out. Just makes it stand out so nice. Oh yeah, trunk looks good. And again, I'm gonna go back in again with some more colors because they're starting to fade, as you can tell. I think you can see that in the painting, they're starting to fade just a little bit. But we're gonna make them pop. Is there any place else I want to put that turquoise? Maybe one shot here. Again, this is your own painting. Do whatever you want with it. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna clean my brush off again. I'm really doing a good job of making a mess here. That's when you know you're a good artist. I've mentioned that before. As soon as you know how to make a mess, you become a good artist. Take yellow and I'll put some white in it. That's just gonna lighten that yellow up just a bit. You watch. Look at that. Don't be afraid to let that extra paint get on there. That's okay, let it dry. Look for little black holes in there. Fill those gaps up. I think that looks pretty cool. Let me get back over into that yellow over here. Look at that. Yeah. Now, see another spot I want to throw it. Looks like we're just kind of doing our highlights and down and through here. And again, you can put whatever colors you want on here. This painting is yours. Yours alone. There's no specific way to color this or paint it. As per. You gotta make it original. What I recall, the rule is if you take a picture and change it 20%, you can call it an original. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm sure that's what it is. I believe it's like that with music too, for the most part. But we don't care about music right now because we are doing painting. All right. I want to pop that blue back in, so I'm going to go for a lighter blue. I have a light blue, but I want to add a little bit of white to it. Just a little bit of white to it. Make that baby blue. See if I can. You know what I'm doing? I see what I'm doing. Okay. I don't want to go over it completely. I just want to throw some highlights in there. Because again, if you start covering everything with highlights, well, then you're going to lose your depth in your painting. We don't want to do that. Oh, you in here? Not a whole lot. Just give it. I seen this canvas. And I thought to myself, man, we got to get back into the color again, just like I did for that elephant. That cow. That cow was fun. Not gonna lie, wasn't sure how it was gonna turn out, but it turned. Get back into that blue for a second. I want to make this a little bit brighter, so I'm gonna layer it one more time. I think that looks good. One more time. One more time. Look at that. That's good. That's good. You can see it pop out. Now, while I'm there, I'm just going to go back into that purple, that dark purple that I made. So I want to throw some more on here. On the left side. Because the purple that I threw on there before is faded. We're just going to bring that back. So you want separation kind of colors. Right side is your brights, left side is your darks. Get some more reds over there. I might even have to go back in with green. Seems like all my green is faded. So I'm gonna wash my brush out again. A lot of washing with acrylic paint. A lot of washing. All right, green, green, green. I'm gonna try and, again, looking for little gaps. Looking for gaps to fill. What we've done is we've pushed our highlights over maybe a touch too far. And I think this green will kind of push them back a bit. We'll have that separation. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Green down here. some green down in here. Yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I like where we're going with that. You know, I'm really disappointed that I kind of ran out of that purple. Actually, I ran out of blue is what I ran out of, and that makes the purple. But it looks like we're on the right track here. I think the trunk's almost done. Might touch up that orange on the right side of the trunk, maybe some pink just at that bottom. I realized I didn't do too many highlights on that right side. They're different than orange. There we go. You know what? That turquoise color, it just pops, doesn't it? Kind of looks like a separator. I'm gonna use it as a separator here. Separates right through that middle. Nice. Nice, guys, nice. So, I want to make a dark, not a dark blue, just a, I'll take the light blue that I have and add it with a bit of the dark blue, which I'm going to grab. Give me a second here. I'm going to grab. Perfect. Perfect. Get back in there. I want to get a little bit different textures in here with these eyes, around these eyes, this side. Dark, but it needs some separation. See there? That separates it a little bit. I think I might go in there with a black brush and just outline it anyway. Now, we've done that. I'm gonna add just a little more of that yellow to the green. Wash your brush again. Just a little indicator. Cool colors there. Now, let's see. I want to go back in one more time with orange. I might put a little bit of white in it. I'm going to try it, see how it works here. I might just go full on orange again. Yep, I'm going to start with full on orange, see how that works. Now we're layering this orange. Oh, if it stays that thick, it's going to look nice. It's gonna look nice. Yeah. Alright. Over to that edge. Woo. Look at those colors. Now I see up the trunk and stuff like that on that right side. There's orange is hidden. Pull it out just a little bit. I know you can get fussy on this thing, and see how the pink is faded again? I'm gonna go through one more time again with that pink. See if I can make it pop. So I'm gonna wipe off that orange. I'm making a beautiful mess. Beautiful mess. Oh, just that blue and that turquoise and that pink goes so well together. Good call. Wish it would just dry that nice. Don't have to worry about it. Yeah, we're getting close. We're getting close, people. get some other color on that brush, don't forget, just clean it off quickly. Take the time. You don't want to keep smearing colors. Just make it look all muddy. A lot of people get into trouble. They wonder why their painting doesn't turn out good. Well, here you take your time with your colors. Clean those brushes. Load them up with color. Put it on thick. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good, you guys. I think we're about ready to get on those tusks. So I'm going to see a little bit orange at the top. Oh, I didn't even throw in. Ooh, I got a nice light purple. I want to throw a couple bits of that in there. See if we can make it pop again. All right, that looks good. That looks good. I like where we are at, people. I like where we're at. All right, what do I see? What do I see? I see red has kind of hidden itself again. Now, this red is kind of dark anyway. But that'll be all right. That'll be all right. Okay, so I like where we went with that. I'm gonna take this purple. I got this nice purple. Let's see if I threw a couple. Not a lot. I don't want to muddy things up again. Get garbage on there. Clean it off. Clean it off. Keep hiding things. That's what we're doing here. But nice color. I'm worth it. Look at that. Just enough. Just enough. I'm gonna throw a little bit in here. Little shots in here. Now, what can we do? We need to pull out the white. We got to that area now where let's get those tusks drawn in. And for this, just clean out your brush as good as possible. Even if you're just wiping it down, there's just a hint of color in there. That's okay as long as it's white. You got a hint of purple in there, pink. You know what? That's fine. Because there's going to be highlights and lowlights in that too. Reflections. Alright, I'm going to aim that up just a little bit. Again, guys, it doesn't have to be perfect. Kind of figure out how you want it. Shape it, look back, see if it's what you want. Remember, we can reshape it with our black once we're done here. See, like that tusk on the left is just a bit too thick. So I'm going to come back in here with the black at the end. And I am going to touch that up. So I'm just going to do a couple touches of white in through here. Kind of give it that last little highlight, so to speak. It's on top there. It's on that edge. Beauty. Now, what can we do? What can we do? I'm gonna touch that turquoise again. I just want to shape this Nice. Now, if you want to go through this part and just add little touches of different colors in there. See what I mean? Touches of different colors. Just little streaks like that. Give it some more funk. Or pizzazz, whatever you want to call it. You do that. Look at that. Don't be afraid to do that. I'm going back in with some of these colors. Don't go over everything to make it look muddy. I think I like where we went with that. Now I need some more blue. I'll go back into here again. I'm drying really dark, but I think this third layer is going to do it. Third layer is going to do it. Oh yeah, I got a little bit of color in there. Not bad at all. Okay. Touch of red, just sit around that. Get back to green for a second. There we go. You know what? I never even threw anything in that orange. I'm trying to decide if I want to leave it or if I want to. I might take, you know what? I'm going to take white and orange. Get a lighter orange. Just kind of do highlights for it. Do it on the right side. Well, that turquoise that I touched. Nothing. Beauty. All right. Now I have one color that I don't know if any of you guys are going to have. And I don't even know how it's going to turn up on here, to be honest with you. But I'm going to try it anyway. Let's see if it works. Just as some highlights. I have gold. I have gold. Make sure you're still focused on me, guys. Ooh. If I put on thin, there's no way you're going to see it at all. But if I throw it in here, touch thicker, drops here and there, gold is going to sparkle. All right, now I'm gonna clean my brush one more time. I gotta do something. I have a habit of running out of paper towel quick. Grab a little bit more. Clean my brush. And I really don't like how that blue is disappearing again. So I want to go in one last time. Darken it up just a bit. One last time. Over here too. You can take purple, whatever you want, and go back in and touch it up. Look at that. All right. Wiping off my brush, and I noticed that the blue has all disappeared on this. So guess what we're gonna do? I think this is the last thing we're gonna do on this trunk. I think we're gonna call it the trunk complete. Yep, I think the trunk's complete. Well, last thing is that intermediate color is always that green and blue. good. It looks good. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna take pink, clean your brush. I'm gonna switch to a little bit different brush because mine's starting to get quite dirty. And see if this works or not. I'm gonna take a little bit of pink, mix with a little bit of orange, just a touch of white. And I'm just gonna bring this outside down, making like a little bit of a reflection, so to speak. Look how cool that looks. And on the other side, I'm gonna do blue. I'm gonna do light blue, so we're gonna take white. Just add that touch of blue, and add a touch of turquoise to it. Just a cool blue. We're gonna do it on the inside this time. Just shape it. Cool little highlights. Now, a big thing that we need to do, which is an important thing that we need to do, we have not touched the eyes. So, I'm gonna go into white. I'm just gonna put it in there and I'm gonna reshape it with black, I think. That's kind of looking like it. It's kind of looking like it. I think that's what I want. The thing about painting, you can wing it. I think that'll be okay. So, clean the brush off. And I'm gonna go into black. I think that's where we're at. Actually, ooh, I see something on the picture that I gotta do. Excuse me. A little bit of red. There's some hidden spots over here. I'm gonna take a small brush. It's not a big brush. I'm just kind of giving it an edge. Filling in, there's some blacks in here, some black spots as you can see. Excuse me. And I'm just giving a little bit of color on that right side. Just gives the illusion that maybe there's some wrinkles in that funk. A little bit of blue over there. Just a little bit, it's nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Okay. You know, you could sit and nitpick this thing for hours if you wanted to. I don't want to. But I see some stuff. Just need to fill in, you know? Throwing in some yellow here. Because it seemed to all but disappear. Okay. Clean my brush out one more time. Let's get into black. I'm going to leave it at that. For now. For now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shape these eyes. say not too bad. Again, doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Just let it resemble eyes. Let it resemble eyes. Now look at that. There we go. Not bad. Now I'm not going to go straight down, but I'm going to try and give it a feel like there's some sort of edge to it. But if you do straight line, it's just not going to look real. It's not going to look, not like this is a real looking elephant, but you get what I mean. Straight lines have their purpose and their time and their place. But you can give the illusion of a straight line if you do it properly. Now, just while I'm there, I'm fixing that up. Again, we're going to go in with our black, and we're going to fill in this black one more time, just because we want to give some defined edges. And then we want this black to not look thin. I see some spots on there where white's shining through. And I'm not going to stay like that. So I do not like white shining through a canvas at all. Ah, that's perfect. I like how it's just some little tiny spots. We're using our small brush. And then a little bit jagged in some spots. And just small little lines to the left. Kind of keep the form of the way your paint is flowing. Yeah. Keep the flow. Starting to shape up. Now I'm going to come out here on the right side and I'm just going to shape this edge. This is where we can do our straighter lines. Because that elephant here is pretty straight. These trunks, they got ridges to them. Got to put the ridges in there. There we go, that edge looks better. That looks better. Alright. We're getting close, you guys. We're getting close. And you don't have to do a black background if you don't want, you know? In honesty, you just want to make it look nice. I just found out that, you know what? I had a canvas that had old trees that I did at a paint class one time. And I was showing people how to do the trees, and I was like, I'm not wasting a good canvas. Good way to recycle is just paint over those canvases. I painted over it. It was like I said, it had trees all over it, painted it black, and guess what? Nice and usable. Just reshaping a little bit. All right, I'm going to finish off this little part of the trunk. Get out our big brush again. Get out the big brush again. Hopefully yours is looking good. I definitely want to see them. That's my challenge. Get out there and get painting. You know, I've been lollygagging. Not wanting to do anything. But you gotta get off the couch and do something. See, look how good that looks. Oh, it looks good, you guys. Looks good. I'm gonna do a little bit of shape. Keep that coming down the left side here. to shape this a little bit more. A little bit more. Bring it all the way down to where the tusk and that side of the face connect. Perfect. There we go. Now we got our definition of our lines between there. You can see the left and right side easy. If you want to throw a couple black lines through there, you go for it. Not gonna hurt anything. Look at that. Just add some definition to it, if anything. Nothing crazy, just a little bit of highlight. A little bit of highlight. I guess that's a low light, sorry. Your darks. Okay, now I'm gonna reshape this just a bit. Just a bit. I just don't like how thick it is. All right. I might have to touch it up a little bit. You know what? I like it. I like where it's at. I'm happy with where it's at. Okay, so now I'm gonna clean my brush one more time. Sorry, I want to pull out the big brush. Make sure I clean it off. We're gonna get in there and we're gonna do the black. We're gonna clean it all up. We're gonna clean it all up. I think it's starting to stand out here. Starting to stand out here. Hoping it's still recording. I'm hoping so. We can finish it off and we'll call it a painting. So just paint in your black. Paint in your black. Make it look nice and thick. Nice and thick. Get rid of any of that white shining through the canvas. You don't want that stuff popping through. And most importantly, once you get to that bottom, you sign your name. Always, always, always sign your name. Always, always, always sign your name. Lets the world know who you are. All right, just on the left side here, finish that off. You might wonder, well, why do you sign your name in the bottom corner? What's the purpose for that? Well, the purpose is to let people know you're there, but not to ruin the picture. You don't want to take away from what you created. I'm going to use, because I love that turquoise, my small brush. Just sign off. Get a lot of paint on that brush. Get a nice fine edge. The finest edge brush you got. And that's all she wrote, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed. Take care, and God bless.